Welcome to the Seed Creative Podcast, the podcast where we discuss both video production and just life in general. The goal of this podcast is the same as the goal of our business, to make a difference in people's lives.
What is up? We are here at Druid City Arts Festival, live podcasting. Not live for you, but live here.
Live for us.
Live for us. This is an insane setup.
Yeah.
I am so excited to be here. Gavin, go ahead and cut to the wide Dawson shot. So this is our setup. Hello over there.
Yeah, so if you are audio people only, we really recommend you come and check this video out on our YouTube channel. But just to describe what's going on, there are tents all around us. This is the Druid City Arts Festival, so lots of people just hanging out, enjoying this awesome weather, and they've got their art set up, and we figured we think of ourselves as artists, right? So
yeah,
why wouldn't we be included? And we spoke with Kelsey Rush over at Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. She was like, absolutely, video is an art form, and so we're here. And we're going to be actually asking people to just be on our podcast.
We have a sign set up that says "Be on our podcast."
It's over there.
It's over there. But yeah, man, I am so excited to be here. Like, we've been talking about this for about a month and a half, 2 months now. We finally came to fruition. All the gear, all the stuff. This is the most gear we've ever taken anywhere, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
pretty
probably.
close, if not.
We emptied our studio.
Yeah. Like, we took this perfectly good podcast studio. Great, now we never have to move it. And then immediately
literally moved
it.
Of course we did, because that's how we do.
Yeah, dude. So, I mean, fun fact, do you know why Tuscaloosa is called Druid City? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, I looked it up this morning because I didn't know either. So it's called Druid City Arts Fest because we're in the center of downtown Tuscaloosa at Government Plaza. Druid City is called that because Tuscaloosa used to also be called the Oak City in the 1820s to 1840s. I think that's the right years. I might have forgot. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm sure you will. When it was the capital, because Tuscaloosa used to be the capital.
Yeah.
And Druids are Celtic characters that worshipped oak trees.
Oh, interesting.
So basically, we're Druid City because of that.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go.
Let me say this. I know Dawson has walked over. Gavin, won't you switch to Dawson's angle real quick? Yeah, so he's just kind of showing off like one of the many artists out here. So we're just going to, like I said, we're going to be walking around inviting people onto the podcast. You can switch back now, Gavin. Thank you so much. But yeah, we're super excited. Also, fun fact, we are set up and there is a band performing like right over there. Yeah, Dawson, I'll send Dawson over to the band. So there is a band performing. So you are going to be getting some ambient music in the background. Hopefully our podcast setup and our podcast mics isolate our voices pretty good.
I think there's going to be some ambiance. You have in-ears in, so
yeah,
which I just realized you're wearing on the front.
I know, I'm wearing on the front. It was easier because the cord isn't long enough. Don't judge me.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know how many people we're going to get. Maybe we get nobody. Who knows?
We'll get somebody. I'll go beg people.
We'll at least get Dawson in.
Okay.
Yeah, at some point. And yeah, man, so we're going to be out here for like 6-7 hours just waiting. Well, you're not going to be. You're going to leave for a little bit. But yeah, we're going to switch off. It'll be a bit abrupt cutting, but hey, you'll follow it.
It's going to be fun. All right, on to our first guest, we assume. All right. So this is our second time around. All tracks are recording.
We're rolling.
Okay.
Awesome. So even though we've just heard your story,
it's okay.
Let our listeners take a listen. Tell us who you are, where you come from, and what you do.
Okay. My name is Anita Craig. I'm one of the owners of Travel Love Coffee. We are based out of Birmingham and Athens, Alabama. We started during COVID. I lost 3 jobs, and we just had to, my business partner, he said to me, he was like, you've got to have something to fall back on, because I'm in the engineering field, and you would think that I wouldn't lose 3 jobs, but I did.
Yeah.
And so we just kept coming back to coffee. We love to travel. We love, and coffee's just pretty much in places that everybody wants to go. They're located in tropical, hot, beautiful places. And, we just got to studying coffee for real. And it started in Ethiopia, and it's just for the culture, and we just love the community of coffee and what it brings to people. And so we are specialized in African and Indonesian coffees.
Wow,
and
cool.
They're all fair trade, direct trade, so no slave labor. We make sure that the most important people are getting paid fairly, which are the farmers.
Awesome.
And, we just want a great cup of coffee that we can sit back and enjoy. And in the fall, we're going to watch some Alabama football.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you said you're an engineer?
I'm an engineer designer.
Okay. So, man, I can't believe you lost 3 different jobs during COVID. That's rough.
I even moved to Florence, Alabama for a job, and the engineering firm that I worked with didn't get the contract.
And then you had to move back?
I had to move
Oh,
back.
my goodness.
Sorry, you go ahead.
So what brings you all out to Druid City Arts Fest today?
Well, we have coffee, and I know there's some great coffee shops in Tuscaloosa, and I'm not taking away from that, but coffee is community, and
Yep.
Alabama is our home. And so the founding principle of our coffee is travel, like it's in the name, Travel Love Coffee. So we want to bring that experience to everybody.
Yeah.
So we travel to different places, and we share a cup of coffee with great people.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. Man, I love your story. Like, what a great first victim.
What a great first victim.
We're going to keep calling you victim.
It's okay. We're all learning together.
Absolutely.
How'd you come up with this idea? Like, did you always want to do this, or?
Well, no. Yeah. Years ago, I thought I wanted a cupcake truck.
Yeah.
And in the cupcake truck and the dessert truck, I was like, well, you got to have coffee. Well, I realized I really don't like to bake.
All right, that's an issue. I should have a cupcake truck. I don't really like to bake, though.
So that went out the window, but coffee stayed in
Yeah.
my heart. And when we were just brainstorming over what to do, we just always ended up with an iced coffee.
Yeah.
I'm more of a cold coffee person. He is as well. I make a great cold brew. But hot coffee is just as wonderful, and in the fall it's great. So, that's just how we came back to coffee.
I gotta come back. I gotta come over and get some coffee.
Well, let's cut to her booth. You have a booth set up? Yeah. So we have a shot of her booth over there on our wireless Rogue Dawson camera.
Yep.
And so I'm super glad that we met you.
Thank
you were the
you.
perfect starter. So I mean, do you have any other
set the
questions,
tone.
George? Or?
Tell us a little bit about, if anyone is watching this or hearing, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes.
What kind, like, do you have a website?
Yes.
Stuff like that.
So we will be opening in the historic Woodlawn Business District in
Cool.
Birmingham.
Okay.
June, July.
Okay.
We do have a website for now, and it's www.trvlovekoffee.com. That's the same as all of our social media sites.
Okay.
It's Travel Love Coffee. Travel has no vowels, and coffee is with a K. We wanted to make it hard. I don't know why.
Hey,
And-
our website and our business name
Yeah.
doesn't match up. And
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
match
not
up.
a problem.
It
Yeah.
drives us insane, but it's like we
Yeah.
couldn't do
It
anything
happens
about
sometimes.
it.
Well, it was just like we started looking. We started with one name. It didn't work, and then there's a coffee company that's Travelers, so we just had to change it up a little bit.
Awesome.
So.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed listening to this. Be sure to go check her out. As soon as we cut, I'm going to get some coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. There
So
you
let's
go.
do it. All right, cool. See you on the next
Next one.
Thank you.
All right. Who are you?
My name is Dawson Estes. I'm freelancing for Seed Creative today.
Dude, this is one of my really good friends. We made a documentary together.
We did. It's like kind of Emmy nominated.
Yeah. See, we get to say it now too.
We can say it. Yeah.
We are Emmy nominated for a short documentary that we
Yeah.
made, and we will find out on June 18th. So if you know anybody that are judges, you know what to tell them. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Make sure we win.
But Dawson, how did you get started in video?
So I actually came into college not knowing what I wanted to do. So I was at a local community college doing general studies, and in a way, just kind of fell into video. Like, it just happened out of nowhere, and I knew it's what I wanted to do as soon as I got into it. So when I got to UA, I started interning with the Center for Public Television, which is where I met Nick, and that was like 3.5, 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was. I don't remember when you started. You started
I
spring
think it was
20
the year after you started.
Fall 19.
Yeah.
Is that when you started? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3. So that's what really skyrocketed my career in video, is because I was basically just thrown into corporate video work, and it's where I learned everything. I did some freelance stuff, but that's pretty much where I was at 24/7.
Yeah. So and you love docs, right? You're a doc guy.
I'm a doc guy. I'm not too much into narrative. I like to video. I like to be like a DP, but I'm more of a doc person. Narrative isn't really my style of things. But yeah, doc and corporate video is definitely my way to go.
So what's your current favorite movie? I know what it is.
See, I don't know if you do anymore.
What?
Okay, well, it's Dune.
Okay.
But shooting wise, I think my new favorite is the Batman.
Whoa, hey, it's the same guy.
Look,
Greg
okay,
Fraser,
so
Daddy
listen,
Fraser.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
Go for it.
Greg Fraser is my daddy, and he's the best DP in the world, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Roger Deakins? No.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't compare. Listen, I just like his style. His
No, I'm
shooting
with
style is like completely different.
George is interrupting the podcast.
Uh-oh, here he comes.
Whoa.
You're
I'm recording right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm telling everyone to be on the podcast.
Be on the podcast.
Yeah, come be on the podcast.
Dawson's here on the podcast.
Wow, that was crazy. So if you saw that on social media, now you know when it was recorded.
You're right.
Anyway, yeah. So Greg Fraser is incredible.
He's amazing.
Dune has changed my life.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking last night, I was like, I think Dune is my favorite movie,
Yeah?
which is weird.
What
'cause
was before that?
I don't know, maybe Schindler's List. I don't know. It's like
Good choice.
a Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
So it's weird. And yeah, so I'm super glad that you're here for us to help us shoot, frankly, because we
Yeah.
just needed a fourth body, and I don't have to lift everything, so that's great.
I'm here for the heavy lifting.
Yeah, no.
And the back and forth trips to the truck.
Yeah, we sent him to the truck 5 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a lot of times.
It's okay.
Anyway, dude, anything else you want to say? Oh, tell them what you're going to be doing. Tell them what you're, if you want to.
Like the job?
Yeah.
So I just accepted a position as a video producer for This Is Alabama with AL.com or Red Clay Media. So I'll be starting that in a few weeks, but as of right now, I'm just kind of doing some side gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. Now get back to work. Go.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Get out.
I gotta go.
Go. Get out.
All right, our next guest is someone that I have known for quite a while now, her entire life. Lucy Edmondson. Does she look like me? A little bit? Does everyone tell you look just like me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Hey, you got to speak up real loud.
Okay.
Okay, great. So tell me what you're doing here today, Lucy.
Well,
Thank you for the gum. Yeah.
I am doing a podcast with my dad
Yeah.
and just watching.
What else is happening today?
I have 2 recitals at 2:00 and 6.
Okay. What is the recital? What are you doing?
Acro.
I thought today was baton.
No.
Oh, today's acro?
Yes.
What does acro stand for?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics. So Lucy has an acrobatics recital, 2 of them today, and I'm going to have to leave here and go watch it, and then I will come back. So it's at 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, like, what do you do in your recital?
I am an Oompa Loompa
You're an Oompa Loompa, okay.
in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
What do you enjoy doing that? Is it fun?
Yes, with my cousin Adeline.
Yep. Tell me, what do you think about what we're doing, like this whole setup? What do you think about me doing video production and stuff like that?
I think that's cool.
Are you into video production yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Won't you tell us a little bit about what do you do, like as far as your own video production?
I edit YouTube videos
Yeah.
on iMovie on my iPod and upload it to YouTube.
And you do a great job.
Yes.
Well, you're definitely my daughter. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I like seed flicker.
You, I like seed flicker. It's seed deflicker. You like seed deflicker?
Yes.
My app I made. Awesome. Well, I love you.
I love you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Our next guest needs no introduction, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Anyway.
Me llamo Mateo Jonas.
That's it.
My name is Matt Jones.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. So Matt was about to start telling me. He was
But
like,
it's not age appropriate. The first time I met you.
"Oh, is it not? I
No.
don't remember."
Yeah. Well,
Just
you
say
were-
it and we'll
you
cut
were-
it out.
You were at Best Buy.
Talking
You were
to the
working
mic.
Yeah,
over there.
get in
You
that
were
way.
working at Best Buy.
Oh, I was?
Years and years ago.
I don't think I ever worked at Best Buy.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Another career.
That might
George
be a
did.
different person.
Are you sure?
Maybe I was just at Best Buy.
No.
George
It was
acts
bef-
like he works
Do you
at Best
remember
Buy.
when you played drums at Capstone and Moody Hall?
Yes.
Every once in a while.
Yes.
Right before that was like 2003. I'm
Okay.
talking about 20 years ago. You never worked at Best Buy.
No, I didn't.
Good story, everybody.
Tell us the story anyway. Maybe
No,
it'll ring a
no,
bell.
no, no, no,
Okay,
no.
never mind then.
It's not
Now, I
appropriate.
would go in Best Buy all the time because they did have a music section back there.
Mhm.
And I would, like, play the electronic drums, and I would do stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So, who knows? Maybe it came out. But, Matt, tell us who you are and what you do. Why are you at Druid City Arts Fest today?
My name is Matt Jones, and I'm the City Venues Operations Assistant Manager for the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater, which is 5 words in the title.
Yep.
I'm trying to get it up to 6. But,
Sweet.
or maybe even just drop one.
We could
coming
add
soon.
we could
Yeah.
add the
Yeah.
at the
Yes,
beginning.
I like it.
So,
So I've been at the AMP. I've been at the city for right at 10 years, but at the AMP full time for right at 4 years, and absolutely love it. It's the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life every day.
I bet.
And so we're here because I booked everything for the stage, for decaf, and I booked everything for Live at the Plaza, and then helping with the sponsorship tent with
Yeah.
Cadence Bank, which none of us would be here right now if it weren't for Cadence.
Oh, yeah.
So they throw down some change to make this happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what's the toughest part about your job? Because you said it's really hard. So.
I'm not what you call a people person,
Yeah.
and so this is a people job. And so
Aw.
you get energized, I feel like, when you're around people.
I do.
I'm
does.
like Jesus. It takes a piece out of me. When I'm around people, it takes
was
stuff
so
out of
good.
me, and I have to go hide somewhere to refuel, like Jesus.
But you like being on stage, so you're a performer. You know.
but that's different
You and I
because I
played
know what I'm
music
doing.
together.
The conversations in between out here, because you see everybody, and everyone wants to stop and have a little postcard conversation. I don't know how to do that.
Dang, so I bet you were just
So-
jumping at the chance to be on a
So
podcast.
being on a
Yes.
podcast, that's like your worst nightmare.
No, like, you know who's going to watch this? My mom and me.
I think you're going to
Okay.
say nobody.
Oh,
My
for,
mother?
for you. I got it.
Yeah.
Hey, there's John
Not
Quit.
you. I
Go
know
get
you
John. Go get John Quit.
We have a better
Ryder, run
guest,
over there.
everybody. Go get John.
Ryder, run over there. Ryder, it's our pastor. Go get him. He's bald. He's right there.
You go to church?
I do go to church.
All right. I just know the pastor. That's really funny.
Anyway, hey, so fun fact, I used to not do video production.
Right.
I was very much in the audio world. Like, that was my passion and dream. I also ran small venues, like music venues, hardcore music, stuff like that. I'd book concerts, do shows, stuff like that. I applied for your job,
Really?
what you do when the amphitheater was being constructed. Yeah.
And see,
And I
did.
didn't
Did you get it?
Well, here's the thing. I did too, and I didn't get it.
Oh, man.
Oh, really?
And so I figured they were building the amp, and I was in Birmingham. I had the gallery, an art gallery here, and then one in Birmingham. We closed the one here and just had the one in Birmingham. And when they broke ground in 2010, and I saw it, and my heart sunk because I was like, that is going to happen in my town, and I'm not a part of it.
Yeah.
I said, that's unacceptable. I am going to weasel my way in somehow. And it took
So you went through the
7
farmer's
years.
market to do it.
I was the 40-year-old intern because when I lost the gallery in Birmingham, I was 40, had 3 kids, I think, at that point,
Yeah.
and no discernible skills or talents other than I could play guitar and sing and write or whatever. But that's like a pool trick. It's
Right.
Whatever. And there was no way to be able to to provide for the family. And so I was like, I want to be at the amp, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I was playing at the River Market. Christy Bobo, God bless her, she was complaining about her interns, and I said, well, I'll be your intern. And she laughed. I go, no, I'm serious. I'll be your intern.
Yeah.
And so she signed me up, and then I weaseled my way in.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And I said, if I, because I'm not saying I'm brilliant, but I do have a couple of things. And for all of you thousands of listeners out here, this is the truth. If you can think 3 steps ahead of what's going on, you give a rip, and you can pass a drug test, the world is your oyster.
Oh,
right
dude,
now.
absolutely.
You can do anything anything.
And
you
I don't
want.
even drug test the guys that work at Seed Creative.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
so.
thank goodness, because I'm just.
Just give them a week's warning.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yep. Well, dude, we appreciate you coming on.
By the way, I'm
talking to
so
us.
proud of you. I remember recording in that chicken shack behind your house in Cottondale
Thank
one
you.
time. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Right after he saw you at Best Buy. No, I'm just kidding.
And so you were one of my first where I actually got to be creative and do video too, because I did a
Your
music
son
And
is
somebody-
several music videos with
Your
you.
son
Yes.
is just walking
That's
right
fine.
through
Let
this
him.
set.
Yeah.
Security. And
Security.
That what's so funny, the girl that I co-wrote one of those songs, that Save Your Best for Me, she just shared that video again this morning, but it's funny because I pulled it up and watched it. I was thinking about you this morning. I had no idea that I was going to see you.
That's
out
awesome.
here. So just bizarre and weird. I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you too, man. It's been,
Thanks
it's
for
been
coming
great.
on.
I don't know you.
Oh, yeah.
But
He's
deep
proud
in my
of
heart,
you too.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
Nick.
proud.
Nice to meet you. I mean, you at the end of your
Matt
interview.
Jones, everybody.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you, man. What's up, everybody? Seed Creative here again, and I have no idea who these guys are. I just went and grabbed them and was like, they look cool. They look like they'd probably talk to us. And they were like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And then they said, we even do a podcast, too. So I was like, that works. So, dude, tell us who you are, where you come from, what you do, why you're here.
All right, my name is Alan Aldridge. I'm from the great big old metropolis known as Kennedy, Alabama. You've never heard of it.
I've never heard of
I
Kennedy,
host
no.
the podcast called Porch Talk. I interview. I've covered the music scene of Alabama and Mississippi all the way down to covering Bentonia blues,
Okay.
all the way to covering what's going on in Birmingham and why it's the mecca of music right now.
Okay. Wow.
And I also cover small businesses. This is how me and Ryan Munson met. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay, so I'm Ryan Munson. I do not host a podcast. That's all Alan. I make products, make things. I make Beard Balm. Munson & Brothers is my brand, my name. We make all sorts of stuff from beard balms, to candles, soaps, all things like that. We're based out of Columbus, Mississippi, and during COVID, we had to kind of pivot a little bit because of business sales, things like that. We also have a beer garden there. We do live music every Friday nights. We have like trivia nights, and we're downtown Columbus. So we make our stuff in the back, sell beer out the front, and that's what we got going
That's
on.
incredible, dude. All right, so you're from Mississippi. So why are you here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama at
It's
the
our
Druid City
bread
Arts
and
Fest?
butter, buddy.
Tuscaloosa is
Festivals.
festivals. Got it.
So a few years back, man, when we just first started making, we would find festivals like this. We don't have it here, but we have like a 1980s VW camper van, like
Nice.
a Westphalia, and we'll drive that. That'll be our tent. We'll just drive someplace, set that up, and sell things out of the back of it. And man, it was a great way for us to hang out, be productive, and just like do things. And that eventually grew. We got to about 150 stores, and then from there. We ended up getting our brick and mortar, and now we have a beer garden.
Wait, how many stores?
About 150. that we
Holy
sell.
crap, dude! Really?
Also, yeah.
That's awesome.
cool.
Congrats. And you just started during COVID, you said?
No. So we became a beer garden during COVID.
Ah,
It was kind of a
okay.
survivor, something we did to survive all that. Because once COVID hit, all the festivals like this probably
They died,
canceled.
Dried
bro.
up.
Yeah, dude.
Nobody was ordering things online. Nobody was doing anything. So we had our brick and mortar. We're downtown Columbus, and we had this little side yard. And we're like, what are we gonna do? Why don't we? We noticed no bands were playing. Nobody was doing any music. There's no life going on. So we were like, let's bring the party to us, and that's what we did. Fortunately, we have a humongous Air Force base there. Those guys immediately caught on to what we were doing and started supporting us, and so we got through that, and we've been really, really celebrated in our community, and so now that's thriving really well, and we
Make
get to do
the
this
announcement.
stuff. And
What did we just do? 48 downtowns.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to say that yet, but we got best new business of Mississippi, like the state of Mississippi.
that
is
of
going to
the
be awarding
state.
that to us next month.
That's
And
incredible,
yeah,
dude.
it's
Congrats.
been very cool. Very,
Congrats.
Very cool.
Had to call him out on that.
So
I'm
are you a
sorry.
musician?
I do a lot of front porch picking.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I also host a festival at my house.
Yeah.
It's called Porch Fest. The podcast is Porch Talk. Then
Yeah.
the festival's Porch Fest. And he goes by Ken Rabbit. And so you're about to hear a little bit of it, but he came and played at Porch Fest along with other great celebrated Alabama and Mississippi musicians.
Awesome, man. You want to play something for us?
sure.
It's going to be hard to do with the drums going
Yeah,
on
I'm
in the background.
competing.
Improv,
I don't
dude.
know
Little
if,
smooth
Improv.
jazz
Play
in the
with them,
background.
bro. Play with them.
yeah, I can't play with these guys.
So you're a Taylor guy.
Well, this actually belongs to my buddies still
Oh,
working
gotcha.
our booth. But I have a 410 Dreadnought, like a 95.
Sick.
This is a little baby one. It's
It
great for
is.
traveling. It's his guitar. He's let me use it. So
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let's hear something.
okay, this song is an original, and I wrote it. My dad recently passed away, so it's a little bit about that. Well, all of my heroes are dead, and these tears in my eyes are all that I have left, and this hole in my heart that beats right through my chest. Oh God, why do you always take the best when all of my heroes are dead? Said life will never be the same. Ooh, ooh, no, my troubles fade away. When I think of you, I've always felt so safe. But now, well, you're in a better place. Oh, God, how I wish you could stay. But all of your troubles, they fade away. And I am here missing you. Ooh, ooh, all of my heroes are dead. These tears in my eyes say my never spoken. I said all of my heroes are dead. Ooh, ooh,
Awesome.
Sorry, it's a little long.
Dude, no, you got it. I was just like, I thought that was the end, my man.
No, it's all
You
good.
killed it, bro. You're great at picking, dude.
Thanks, man.
Holy crap. I
Appreciate
didn't expect that. I was like, wow, he's actually pretty good.
What, you think we're just a bunch of posers out
No,
here?
man. You think we're just a bunch of posers? Dude, all right. So tell anyone that's watching or listening, how can we find you? Do you have a website? Do you have anything like that?
We're on all the social media stuff. If you look up Munson and Brothers, we have a website. We've got Instagram, Facebook. You know, all the stuff. We're there. And then be sure to check out Porch Talk. He's finding great gems that are throughout our community. This area, Birmingham, Memphis. Like he travels to them and finds guys that won't normally even come out of their house and play, and they're brilliant and they're real.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
He's doing a good job.
That's really
And
cool.
what's crazy is, like, I'm not saying that the podcast had anything to do with it, but since we've been doing it, 3 of the artists that's been on the show hit it big.
Wow. That's awesome. It could have just like been a confidence booster or something. Who knows, man?
Yeah, who knows, right?
That's great. Yeah, well, thank y'all for joining us.
Hey, man. Thanks
yeah,
for
man.
having us. and-
Porch-talk.net.
Okay.
And I'm on all social media platforms.
We'll
Porch
find
Talk
you. Go find
101.
them.
The
Thanks
logo
again.
is my face in neon.
Nice. All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, pleasure.
See
Thank
ya.
you.
See ya. Nick, I'm going to let you introduce this one since I did the last one.
Well, this is your pastor, John Quitt, correct? Yes. Yes. Your son didn't know who he was.
Dude, I was like, dude, there's John Quitt. And he was like,
Who's John Quitt?
Who?
I was like, how? We've
And
been
he was
going
like
to,
tall, bald man. Go
Right,
over there.
exactly.
We've been going to Hope City for like 2 years now, maybe longer, 3 years. And I'm like, why, Ryder? He
You know
doesn't
that
hate-
guy that speaks when you're playing on the phone? That guy.
That guy. Then, well, I think that maybe he just didn't hear me because then he was like, "Oh, John Quitt. Oh, okay." But Lucy went and grabbed y'all.
On Sunday, if he's not paying attention, you just smack him back of the head. Say, listen.
Yep.
I don't understand the Druid City. They worship trees. Do we want to celebrate that? I don't
See,
know.
how
I
did
That's
feel
you
what
know
I was
that?
talking about. It's on Google. It's on the History of Tuscaloosa website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
How did you know that? Oh, I guess you just study. I'm just
Druids,
dumb, I guess.
yeah,
I
it's
didn't
a-
know what Druids even were. I just knew they sounded. It sounded
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Like when I think of Druids, I think of the Spinal Tap thing.
Oh, yeah.
The home of the Druids or whatever they say. So what are y'all doing out here, man?
Well, Amy, my wife's her dad's got a booth out here. So,
cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're kind of not helping them. We're just kind of celebrating what they're doing out here. And then it's just something to do. Saturdays.
What does her dad do?
He's a woodworker, so he's got like cutting boards and stuff.
Would he be on our podcast?
Send him over.
He'd probably, I don't know, would he? Yeah, he'd probably love it.
Would he do it?
Yeah.
We
Y'all could
request
ask him
his
to do it.
presence.
Yes.
Look, we're just trying to talk to people. We're trying to talk to people that are walking by. We're trying to talk to artists. We just want to know what people are up to and
Yeah.
what do they have
He
to
could
say.
bring some of his merch. Like
That's
I think-
exact- that's
That's
what
what
we
we
want.
want.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we had a guy earlier. He brought some like candles and beard oil.
I'll
and
tell him to
crap.
come over here.
Tell him to come over here.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. You have anything you want to say?
I mean, I was just gonna say, what's a pastor's day off like? Like not Sunday. You're just studying the whole week, that kind of stuff.
I mean, our day off, we're just like reading the Bible and praying
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
And so,
So it's like not a day off.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, there's never a day. That's why I
so-
did air quotes.
no, we're what's your name again?
I'm Nick.
Nick.
Nick. Sorry, Nick. I mean, we're regular people, so
Yeah.
I mean, we hang out.
Yeah.
Does it ever get annoying? You and I have talked about this a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
but does it ever get annoying how that's? I know that like you identify like you are a pastor, a preacher, but does it ever get annoying when people that's all they want to talk about?
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
just
I
be
hate it.
honest.
I hate it. Yeah. When I'm on airplanes, I just lie to people.
Yeah.
They're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I work for the school system. I'm a plumber."
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that terrible? I'm a bad person.
No, it's not
No,
terrible
I
at
get
all.
it.
I completely get it. I think that in
Amy's
my,
shaking her head. She goes, "You are a bad person." She literally just said that.
in my opinion,
It's the wife's job.
like
It
it's
is, yeah.
as Christians, it's all of our responsibility to talk to people openly about what
Yeah.
we believe in. So like, but being a pastor is like, at the end of the day, I mean, it is a job. It's like very separate from. I think we should all feel the calling to share what we believe with people, whether we're a pastor or not.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, and I know that a lot of people are like, "Oh, so you're a pastor? Like that's
Yeah.
all you do?"
And I didn't mean to diminish. Like, I mean, clearly, I'm always.
he's
I'm-
sarcastic.
I'm regularly looking for opportunities to have conversations with people, but I definitely don't wear it on my sleeve.
Yeah.
I don't. People don't call me Pastor John. Like,
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a mistake. Because we're in it together. Like we're all. There's a theological framework called the priesthood of all believers, which means like we're in, if you're a Christian, like we all have the same spirit. We're
Yep.
walking in the same power. So it's like my role happens to be to teach people, in a corporate context, but like you teach in the same way in a different way, different
Right.
context. So yeah.
Well, that's something I've always appreciated about you, man.
Thanks, man.
It's always been more like we're just friends, and you
Yeah.
happen to be the pastor at the church I go to.
Yeah, that's
you know
cool.
what I mean. So
I was just looking to get on a podcast.
Well, there you are.
Like everything up to the last 2 years is just so I get to sit behind this.
Of course, yeah. It's your new
My
career.
plan
We-
has
yeah.
come together.
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
to force John Quinn to be on this podcast. He's like, "What? Me? Really? Oh
Well,
man."
Let me give you a chance to talk about something that's unrelated. Then, what's your favorite movie? Do you have one, or a favorite movie?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? You're talking my language now.
Yeah, there we go.
I have three favorites.
All right, go.
Like meaning if I was on a desert island and I somehow had electricity and a DVD player.
Right.
The Natural is number one.
Ooh. Okay.
Robert Redford.
Yeah.
It's a baseball movie. Baseball movies are my favorite genre.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Okay.
Field of Dreams.
And
Yeah.
I'll get down with some
Yeah.
Field of Dreams. The Natural, that's Robert Redford.
Yeah.
It was actually filmed at Buffalo Stadium where I was raised. So
Cool.
and then they tore it down after
Yeah.
the movie, which is
Wow.
kind of cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Shawshank.
Oh,
number two.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Great movie.
Shawshank. And then Happy Gilmore. Just that's,
Yes.
Wow.
number 3.
What a nice blend
So,
of movies.
yeah. And then there's who doesn't love Lord of the Rings?
Oh man,
You know,
are you
but-
excited for the TV show?
Yeah. I hope
Yeah.
they don't jack it up.
Well, they spent more money on it than anything that has ever happened. They spent $60 million an
Is
episode.
Peter Jackson
per
is
episode.
he
I have
direct-
no idea.
Okay.
No idea. But I believe in Amazon, and I believe in throwing money at the problem. So I think it's gonna be good. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be good.
Well, I was encouraged when they said they were not going to Game of Thrones it.
Yeah.
So meaning it was just going to be boobs everywhere. So I'm grateful for that.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
I hadn't either, so-
But I've heard it's
It's a waste of time.
yeah, it's a waste of time.
Did you have
not
to
like it.
strike that one from the? From
No,
the
not at
podcast?
all.
Okay, good. I just wasn't sure. Since I said boobs.
No, dude, we had Jared Land on the podcast.
Oh right, yeah.
He's throwing
he's got
F-bombs
it.
everywhere.
Yeah. We cut some of it.
We
but-
cut some of it, but then eventually it was like he said so much. We were like, we're going to be here forever editing. It's going to be like, hey, Jared Land's on the podcast, and we're done.
You have to believe us. Yeah.
I promise you he would. So Jared Land is the guy that gave us that big fancy Red camera. He's the CEO of Red.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really
that's a
cool
big deal.
guy.
Yeah. He's really cool, but
He's best friends with Brad Pitt, so that's pretty cool.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he really
Like
is.
legit, like not like he's
you know-
best friends with Brad Pitt.
Do you know
Really?
the when Brad Pitt went on Saturday Night Live and played Dr. Fauci?
Yeah. That
Like
was brilliant. That was
Jared
brilliant,
Land
by the
filmed
way.
that in his house.
Come on, no, he did not.
He shot
He
that
did.
at his house
on a camera that was unreleased.
Yeah, on a camera that was unreleased,
Yeah.
just with a green screen. But yeah, he said that he had like Lauren Michaels in his ear, like
Come
doing
on.
the live because it was during COVID. So Brad Pitt and he were they had to be in quarantine together because when California shut down, Brad was like at his house, so they like just stayed there for
That
a long
was a
time.
brilliant bit, though. I mean, that was
Yeah.
one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah, well, he shot it.
God,
Isn't
that's
that
crazy?
crazy.
Yeah.
And you know him.
Yeah, we know him. I've been in his
We're
studio.
best friends. No, I'm just kidding.
You
No.
basically, that means by default, you're friends with Brad Pitt.
So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's like
Kinda
Degrees
by
of Kevin
proxy.
Bacon. Have you
Yes.
heard of that?
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
absolutely,
that.
yeah.
So he's what? You're 2 degrees from Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Which
like 2.5.
means You know Angelina Jolie.
Which means
And
you know
Jennifer
Brad
Aniston.
Pitt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So you know Brad Pitt
I
because
like Brad Pitt.
yeah, he's a nice guy.
It's cool guy. Good movies.
So those are good movies. Do you know what my favorite movie
I
is?
wanna know.
Yes.
It's on. Okay, so
It's
this is
on
how
one
we
of the
expose
podcasts.
people that don't watch the podcast regularly.
Well, I'm not.
I
I,
know,
don't
I know,
expect
I know.
him to watch it. But
I don't know.
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it's great.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
What's the worst sound? What's the worst sound in the universe? Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I just had
I
everyone
so
look at
hope
me.
you cut to that. If not, I will be fixing it because that was amazing.
Yeah, dude. Dumb and Dumber is amazing. I love just Jim Carrey in general. He's a great actor.
What's your favorite movie?
Dune, probably right now.
Really? That was
Yeah.
classic. Yeah.
Did you like the
He-
new
the
one?
new
not,
Dune.
Not the old Dune.
No, the
yeah.
old one's terrible.
Yeah, okay, good,
I
good.
watched the old one before the new one came out.
Isn't
I
it
never-
I've
amazing?
not seen it.
Dude.
The old
I've
one?
still-
It's
I've not seen
terrible.
either one.
It's like the first Star Trek show where monsters look like they're wearing garbage
Yes,
bags.
Oh,
that's
wow.
how the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the new Dune is amazing. It's going to be. It's funny because we were just kind of trashing on Game of Thrones. It's going to be the next Game of Thrones, but without the bad things about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is really loud.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Is that like a marching band? Oh,
I
it's a
have no-
marching band.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's okay.
What drum line is it? Sorry, when marching band comes out, everything has to stop.
Everything
for me.
stops. Nick was in marching band.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I'm a $1 million band, or
Wow.
was. I graduated, so
Wow,
yeah.
that's pretty
Graduated 4.0, top of his
right.
class.
Are you serious?
Yep, that's right.
Was this during a championship year?
No. Well, so tough subject, but basically because of COVID, we didn't get to march the year they won the Natty, so I went to 2 losses.
Dude.
Yeah, but anyway, it was fine. Yeah.
Always a bridesmaid.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
true. It's true. I'm sure they'll win next year. I won't be there.
Nick's one of those people where like you'll come up with this is random, but just talking about how smart he is. Like, I mean, you were 4.0 like all 4 years, weren't you?
Yeah.
Like.
Wow.
I got a 3.99 my first semester. So.
Oh gosh. But he's one of these people that's so smart. I'll be like, we'll figure out that just something exists, and the next day he's an expert at whatever it is.
I don't know. If
He's
that's
just like,
true.
oh yeah, I can run an entire podcast and I can get it all uploaded everywhere. Like he's just one of those people.
I'm a man
Wow.
who Googles. That's the secret.
He's good at
That's
Google.
amazing.
Yeah.
Good at the Google.
That's a sign of a good leader right there, though. You get.
What do we say? He said it's a sign of a good leader.
Oh, thank you, George, for your leadership.
That's a thing.
Sorry, I was thinking about something. I blanked for a second.
I will say I do appreciate you're not a narcissistic leader. Like seriously, you're
Definitely
very
not.
generous with other people. Seriously.
you.
He buys me lunch every day. That's for example. Like, seriously.
every
Well,
single
I was
day.
That's a
thinking.
big
I was
deal.
thinking emotionally,
Well,
but
yeah,
true
yeah.
with
No.
He's like, you can upsize it today.
There you go.
But no, I appreciate that about you.
I care about people's feelings.
I know, I can tell.
Yeah.
But mostly he wants us fed.
But I just don't want them to pass out and sue me when we're out here in
Right.
the heat talking.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's really about preservation.
Dude, is there anything else you wanted to say before you go, Mr. John Quit?
No, thanks for having me on my first podcast.
Oh, really?
It's my first ever.
Well, we should get you on a full episode. You're good at this.
We
Is
should
this
get you on
is
a
this
real.
more like, is this a webcast? I don't know, because it's how does a because we're on video.
Yes.
So is
Yes.
a podcast?
So
I
if
thought
you
a podcast is just audio.
That's what it's very
okay,
confusing.
so if you want to go the Mildred Black way, it's a vodcast.
Oh, okay.
So it's a video podcast.
Okay.
So we do
That
audio.
feels like a dated language.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
do.
dated language? No, it's
I think
not.
she maybe invented the word. I've never heard anybody
I've
else
never
refer
heard
to it.
anyone say vodcast.
Oh, you
but-
haven't?
No, she does. But so like we put the video feed, the video and everything podcast online. Think Joe Rogan podcast,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen, like he does a video side.
Yeah.
But then we're also on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast.
So does
all the
Joe
other
Rogan
ones.
call it a podcast?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also interesting is Apple's podcast started as video podcast.
No way.
That's what they called it when it started, and you would upload to. It was pre-YouTube, so it was video podcast, and then it just became audio only. It's super weird.
Wow.
Anyway, the standard these days is to have a video and
I
have
didn't
an
know
audio,
that.
and then you can just watch it however you want to.
So if you want to
listen.
get down to the technical, I know you like talking business, and I'm totally down if you have any business questions. I love
what
feeding
you
off
guys do,
people.
yes.
But one of the other reasons, there's a few reasons we did the video podcast. Number one, we wanted to do it ourselves and get it down to a science so that we could offer it as a service and know that, like, be confident enough to say we can do this and charge money for it.
I love it.
The other thing is the more you upload to YouTube, the stronger your SEO is going to be for your website, for just when people search video production in Tuscaloosa. We've got so many podcasts on YouTube. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world.
Behind Google,
Google
yeah.
is number one, and then it's YouTube, and Google owns YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So if you Google something, it's going to push a YouTube result.
Wow.
So we want to just
It's one of
have,
those Sorry, I was saying it's one of those things where you don't exactly see the specific return. Like you're not going to log on and be like, "Oh, I have 20 million views. That's so
no,
good."
this
But-
is a long term.
Yeah, but as we've seen some business grow, we've seen people that see podcasts and then want something else. Like it's that, and now it's grown into a podcast business as well. So it's like,
Wow.
Yeah.
all of it is profitable except for this actual podcast.
Except for what we're doing right now is not But this is the
This is
investment.
not going to
the
make
point.
you guys money?
No,
Gosh.
this is the investment.
I was hoping to
this
bring.
podcast.
Well, maybe now that you're on, all of a sudden it's just gonna
Listen, this phase costs money.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
it's true.
I mean,
Well, we're hoping to do a partnership with some people, and that's one of the reasons we're out here
That's
too.
really cool.
So this is like a proof of concept, which proven to be
A concept.
a concept.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Who else has sat in this chair?
Today?
Yes.
Well, Lucy was on earlier, my daughter.
Oh yeah.
So Lucy was on. We had a couple guys.
And she's kind of your protege, right? Like she's in this.
Oh yeah, she like edits videos on her phone and stuff,
That's
or on her
killer.
iPod.
She's gonna be CEO of Seed Creative one day for sure.
Yeah.
When
Wow.
Seed Creative's like Hollywood, because I believe it is. This is his goal, but I just fully believe it's gonna happen.
Wow.
She's gonna be the CEO when he dies.
Wow.
When he dies.
Well, when he dies, and then Christy dies, and then her.
Jeez, this guy.
Does Ryder have to
dark
die first?
Really
No,
fast,
okay.
man.
This got super weird.
It's the truth, though.
I'm glad to be part of the origin story, though.
Oh
It's
yeah,
true.
dude.
You know, I mean, like I'm in this.
You've been around since before I did video.
I remember when you were a ratty skater.
Yeah, I mean I still am.
He still is a
sort of.
ratty skater.
Well,
Tell him the story of the last time I did a skate trick
Yeah,
in front
so
of you.
he was having a terrible day, like pretty much the worst day I've ever seen him have. And he was
Like
trying
what,
to make
a year ago maybe?
Yeah, and he was trying to make himself feel better. There's a lot of family stuff going on. And he pulls a skateboard out that also looked kind of janky, just for the record, out of the back of his truck that had been sitting there for who knows how long. And he starts skating and immediately tries to do a trick, sort of falls off. I wouldn't say falls off, just like your foot came off, like the board came out from under you.
It came off weird.
And he lands on his foot super hard
On
and
my
twists
ankle.
his ankle, and his next day's ankle is black.
on your worst day.
Yeah.
That's
It was
terrible.
legit a terrible day.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was a bad day. I mean, I can talk. Like my mother-in-law was really sick at the time, and we were just scared about what was going on and everything. And I was just like, I'm just gonna skate. I'm gonna feel better.
I told him not to do it. I said, George,
Yeah, he was
you
like,
had the
"Dude,
worst
don't
luck
do this."
today. Don't do this.
And then I immediately roll my ankle and it turns black and blue. I'm
It
like,
was
maybe I should
incredible.
listen to people more.
Also, on another note, I think I just saw my girlfriend's mom walk by, so
Go grab her.
yeah, we'll get her to be on the podcast.
Exactly.
Sweet. John Quit, thank you so much for being
Thanks,
on,
guys.
dude.
Love
You're
dude.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
See ya. That was
That
really
was-
bad.
Wow.
There we go. All right, cut.
All right, we have our next victim here on the podcast. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Kyle Gooden, and I am a teacher. I teach at Wetumpka High School down in the Central Alabama, Montgomery area, and I teach television production.
Yeah, so you do high school only, or do you do any middle school?
High school only. Thank God.
My dad is a teacher, and he always says middle school students are the hardest to work with. Yeah.
I can imagine, because ninth graders are the worst human beings on planet Earth. They're terrible.
I hope none of your students are watching.
And no, they deserve to hear it.
You should send it to them.
Maybe I will. But ninth graders are really difficult to work with. They're still pretty immature, for the most part. But by the time they get into that junior, senior range, they're pretty solid, workers. You can really, if you catch them early, then you can kind of mold them into really good employees, really good workers and really trustworthy, great kids that'll bend over backwards to really just do everything you need them to do. It's really, they're great to work with.
So, what kind of stuff? So, do you guys do primarily school broadcasts, that kind of stuff?
So it somewhat started out that way, and I'll say that COVID really killed that for us, which
I would imagine
in my mind was actually a really good thing, because I think that most school broadcasts are trash and they're not that good.
I did one, yes, yeah.
And it's not that they aren't produced well or anything like that, because they can be.
Right.
But in most high schools, there's just not enough happening to make a very interesting 5 or 10 minutes worth
Every
of
week,
Yes,
yes.
every week, and some of them do them every day. They do a morning announcement. That to me is boring.
Right.
And so this year I actually had a great opportunity. The way that COVID killed that, I guess I should sort of say beforehand, the way that COVID killed that is everything extracurricular stopped.
Yeah.
So while there was already not that much happening, even less was happening during 2020, 2021, and the start of 2022. There was nothing that was going to cover that much time.
Right.
So we actually started to transition this year, and our city, we got super fortunate. Our city which some of you may actually know, was featured on a little show on HGTV, Hometown Makeover.
Oh yeah.
And
I've heard
we
about that.
were the first town to do it, so it brought a lot of eyes to Wetumpka. And we had just built a new stadium, and we were supposed to play in it last year, but of course our city built a new stadium. And I convinced them to allow us to basically handle the audio video productions in the stadium. So it's much more of a professional type atmosphere. And so basically we are going to sort of transition from live television production and much more into like a video production, almost like a marketing arm for athletics, because that was 90% of what we did anyway, was athletics
content
based.
Yeah.
And so being able to transition into something that is much more viable for the future, because I don't think live sports are going to go anywhere no matter what, entertainment trends happen. Heck, most of live television is barely live anyway. It's all scripted before, everything's scripted out.
The only reason I buy a TV package these days is for sports. If not, I would drop it. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
And so everything is pre-planned beforehand. Why would I teach, live TV production and try to simulate a show when that's just not where the market's going, right? I'm doing a disservice to my kids otherwise. So we're going to kind of work into more commercials, creating commercials and things like that. So
do most of your students go on to do video production for a career? Do they go to college for it? Are they just in it for fun? Is it a blend?
So most of them are just in it for the fun. They have some other thing that they really would like to do. Somebody wants to be a dentist, or somebody wants to be an accountant or something like that, right? Like that's what they kind of plan on doing as a career. But I do have a couple that the ones that are really interested in it, they are the ones that are like, I think I would like to do this as a career. Most of them are going to go to college, because most of I would imagine that you probably graduated from a university program. Yep. I graduated from a university program. My first job out of college was working at a local news station. They don't hire anyone that doesn't have a college degree.
It's true.
So that's kind of the way that the industry works. I think that could change, especially with freelance work. That's definitely not the case.
It's funny. We did a whole podcast episode. I think it's the last one that came out. The way our release schedule went, that was all about whether or not film school, going to college for what we do is worth it. Because everybody has a different opinion on it, but I absolutely think it was worth it. So
here's the difference for me, and this is what I tell a lot of my students that ask me this, or people in general that just ask me, like, is that some, especially like photographers or something like that talk to me, because I was in the wedding industry for a while, like working freelance doing that. And what I tell a lot of people is, like, there is nothing you cannot learn on your own. Like there isn't a skill that you can't learn on your own watching YouTube videos, like really, or buying books or doing courses or something like that. You can learn the mechanics of things that you need to do. But what college is going to do is it's going to force you into opportunities you definitely cannot get otherwise. And I think some of my favorite projects that I did in college were the things that really helped me develop my skills as a videographer, as a content creator of some kind.
Right.
Doing those short films, right? Things like that. And you have access to equipment you could never own on your own.
Absolutely.
Starting out.
Yeah.
And you've got access to people who are willing to help you, and building those relationships and all that sort of stuff. That's what college can give you, that just watching YouTube videos and online tutorials is never going to be able to give you. And so my job has really been to try and simulate what worked best for me in college at the high school level. Be there and give expertise to my kids, give them equipment they cannot possibly own on their own, put it in their hands, don't give it to them, but make them create with that stuff, give them that opportunity, because it's going to be a while before they can get a $5,000 camera in their hands, with the ability to create whatever they feel like. So.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, that was perfect. Thank you so much for coming on. I think people will take a lot from what you said. So, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I am Nick. I think George came over and talked to you, but tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Princess Nash, and I play roller derby for Druid City Derby in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Cool. So how did you get started doing that?
So I actually started with this team back in 2015. So we're the first roller derby team that this town has had, and we built it from the ground up. So now there's over 35 people on our roster.
Wow.
So pretty impressive.
How long did you say it was? Sorry, I was looking at the thing.
Started in 2015.
Okay. So, so is this your full-time job, basically?
Oh, no.
No?
This is a hobby.
Okay.
So think of it as like improved, I don't know, flag football team, maybe?
Okay, so what made you want to do this?
So I actually didn't know what roller derby was before I started playing.
Oh, really?
One of my friends, she was telling me that they're trying to start up a league in Tuscaloosa, and I already knew how to roller skate because my mom used to be the clown at the local roller skating rink.
Really?
So I spent a lot of time at the roller skating rink. So I already had a leg up because I knew how to roller skate. And then you just had to learn how to hit people and be hit while on roller skates.
Yeah.
So is that like what really roller derby is? Like what, if you could explain it in like a few sentences, what exactly is that?
So it's a full contact sport. And there are co-ed leagues. The league in Tuscaloosa is all women, but we're starting a juniors league, so ages 10 to 18, and that can be male or female or non-binary. And you're going in a circle, so think like a roller skating rink, right? And you got 4 blockers for each team, and then there's a jammer, and that jammer is kind of like the ball. Okay. So the ball is trying to get through the opposite team's blockers. Because every time they make it around the rink and they pass some hips, that's a point. So each person's hips is a point.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
So the scores can be pretty high. Like you can get up to played in a game last weekend, and the scores were like 166 to like 120.
Wow. How long do the games last for?
So there's 2-minute increments that can happen, and like every 2 minutes, new people could get out and on the track. So set of 5 new people.
Kind of like
every
hockey,
2
I guess,
minutes.
Yeah.
But about an hour.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's a lot of scoring in an hour.
Yeah, that is. So is it like local competition, or do you travel for it?
Both. So all of our home games in Tuscaloosa are played at Super Skate. Nice. I traveled last weekend to Fort Walton Beach, and we had like a mashup team. So it was a team of people from Druid City Derby, Tragic City Rollers, which is the Birmingham team, Atlanta Roller Derby sent some skaters. So a little mashup all over the Southeast. But I've played before. I played in Iceland and France.
Wow.
Roller derby is a worldwide sport.
Wow,
so.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like this reminds me of like our niche thing is we did marching band, and it's like people don't know that marching band is a big deal everywhere. It's like kind of a similar thing. So what brings you here today to Druid City Arts Festival?
So we sign up every year to tell people about roller derby. We also have our own roller derby coloring book for the kids.
Oh, cool.
So that's really cool. We partner with a local artist. He's over there doing characters, Kevin. So it's a coloring book of roller derby characters.
So I guess just to finish up, so is there anywhere people can find y'all, social media, that kind of thing?
We are on all social media platforms, Druid City Derby.
Okay.
And then we have a website, druidcityderby.com. And on that website, if you're interested in being a skater, or we have non-skating officials, so like the referees as well, you can sign up on that website.
I feel like our company needs to do a roller derby day. I feel like we would have fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you say the words full contact sport, my head like pops up. So.
You know, we could do an episode of like the Try Guys.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
a
you
good
guys
point.
could be the Try Guys that try roller derby.
Dude, me and George, the guy that y'all talked to earlier, is down for anything. So we'll have to set something up like that. But I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, we're going to get to our next person, but I appreciate you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so we have another victim. We've been calling everybody our victims today for coming on.
That's scary.
Yeah, so you know John Quitt, correct?
Yes.
So he sent you over. He talked about, tell us who you are, what you do, what you're doing here, etc.
Okay, I'm Ron Wilson. I own Ron's Creations, and I mostly wood products, but I have some other things as well. That's a charcuterie board made of cedar. It's been a very popular item for us. That's a clipboard with various wood species, and then a cutting board, again, with various species.
Just trying to make sure I get everything
Can you
up.
get it up there
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
camera?
Perfect.
And then this is a stainless steel cup tumbler that I've engraved with, obviously, with the houndstooth pattern, but they're customizable, so I can put anything on there.
Cool. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing the woodworking, I'm not really sure, but probably about 25, 30 years.
So did it just kind of start as a hobby and then
Yes.
you turned it into a...
Yes.
So do you do this, I guess I'll call it like full time now, or is this
Yes,
just like a hobby?
I have a shop in my backyard, and I spend every day a number of hours working in the shop. I sell at the Tuscaloosa Farmers Market down on Jack Warner Parkway on Saturdays.
Right.
And I have done some of these shows in other towns, but I've kind of backed away from that, and this is probably the only of the art festivals that I will be doing for the foreseeable future.
So what kind of, so you do it all yourself pretty much?
Yes.
So how long would it take to say like make the clipboard? How long would that take?
A lot of the time that would be involved would be in terms of putting the finish on and letting it dry between coats, but the actual construction would probably be, I don't know, 5-10 hours, something like that.
So more than a full day's of work, yeah.
It takes me about a week to make one, but I typically batch them out, so I would probably make 6 to 10 at one time.
I see what you're saying. So what made you decide, I know you said you've backed off, what made you decide to still come to this one, just because it's in town?
Because
or?
it's local, and I'm not paying the expenses of a motel and
That's true.
travel.
Yeah.
And it's a good festival. There are a lot of folks that come out and good vendors, so it's an enjoyable festival.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people out here. So you said you've been doing this for about 25 to 30 years?
Yes.
How long have you been doing it like full time? Has it been the same length or?
I retired in May of 2017.
Okay.
That's when I started doing it.
Gotcha.
Full time.
Awesome.
So so you said that you go to arts festivals every Saturday. Is there anywhere else? Do you have a website or anything?
I
people
do
can
have
find?
a website.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called ronscreations.net.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not been updated in a while, but it is there, so you can see some of my merchandise.
Okay.
Do you ever do any orders, or is it all just?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah.
I like doing custom orders.
Okay.
And most everything I make, I can customize. If someone wants a name placed on it or something like that, I can do that.
Okay.
Either inlay with wood or engrave with. I have a CNC machine and a laser engraver.
Is it how you do this?
Yeah, that one's
so,
cut on the CNC.
I don't know if you can see it, but he's got his logo and Ron's
that's
Creations,
engraved on
what
the
he's talking about.
CNC, and but I also have a laser engraver that's a relatively new purchase, so that I'm able to do some stuff with that too.
That's cool.
What did you do before you did this woodworking stuff?
Ministry. I was minister of music at several churches, and I also worked as a chaplain with Hospice of West Alabama.
Cool.
For 15 years.
Well, now you're so, like, you just get to relax every day. It sounds super nice. Like I would love to do what you do.
I don't think relax is
Relax
the
a good
proper
word.
It's still work.
Stressful a little bit.
My wife kids me that I spend as many hours working in the shop as I did when I was employed, and I said yes, but I don't get as big a paycheck.
Hey, well, that's what being retired's for, right?
Well, I guess.
You guess. Well, it's good that you enjoy it. We appreciate you coming on. You guys should check him out. Say your website one more time.
ronscreations.net.
All right, yeah, check that out. Like he said, he likes to do custom orders, so give him some love, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
so
thank you so much
for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
absolutely.
Good to have you.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. All right. Guess who's here?
I do have a girlfriend, guys. She is real.
But I don't know who you are, so tell me who you are.
My name is Jaden.
Oh, yeah?
I'm your girlfriend. You should know that probably.
Yeah, I probably should.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what do you do?
I just graduated college, but I was a psychology major.
Yeah, so you didn't get it? No, I'm just kidding. What are your minors? Because you're smarter than me.
It's neuroscience and global and cultural perspectives.
So I've told the people on the podcast this before, but I always say that you're the sciencey person, and I'm the you're the book smart, and I'm the street smart in the relationship.
Yes, that's what we call people who aren't smart. in this relationship. That's how we put it delicately.
You're filling George's seat well. You're just sitting here and giving me crap.
You make it easy.
Wow, thank you. Wow. Well, we're done. Thanks for coming. I was kidding. So, tell the people. I know things.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about. I keep saying it. Tell the people what you're doing in the fall, your future plans. What do you want to do in life? Yeah.
Okay, well, this fall I'm going to be doing a master's program, and it's going to be at King's College London.
You're talking to me, not the cameras.
Okay. Sorry, you said to just go.
No, I know. It's fine. This is part of it. This is part of the joke. All right, you're going to King's College London.
Yes,
Continue.
I am. I'm going to King's College London, and it's to study global mental health.
Yeah, okay, so what do you want to do long term?
I don't know yet. Probably be a professor, but I don't know yet.
And you're
one step at a time.
And you're also going on another trip in like a week and a half or something?
Yes, I'm going on a study abroad to India this summer, to New Delhi.
And what is that for? Why don't you explain to people why you're going?
People like Nick don't understand it, but I'm super, super excited. It's also global mental health, basically. It's to study culture and mental health and differences in mental health between India and the United States.
Now, I have to be fair because George, we were always talking about how we want to grill Christy on the podcast. Not grill.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to grill you, Christy. Always wanted to get her on the podcast, so now I have to give you open mic time to say anything that you want about me, because that's basically why we want to get Christy on the podcast, to say anything about George that he won't admit. So tell the people something they wouldn't know about me that is anything. You can take a second if you need to think about it.
Like a fun fact or like roast you?
Either. Whatever you feel your soul needs to say about me in public.
Because I could expose you on a lot of things, but I don't know how far you want me to go.
I'm saying nothing.
All right, well, he still sleeps with a stuffed panda, so.
That is not true. That is not.
Totally
I
true.
deny any claim of that. He's adjacent to my sleeping area.
That little pause was me looking you in the eyes, and I was trying to communicate that, like, is this okay? I was trying to see how far you were going to go.
I had no idea what you were going to say. That's not true. I deny any claim of that. If anything, I don't sleep.
When he does sleep, it's with a stuffed panda.
That's not true. You know,
I've seen
my
it.
uncle definitely listens to this. Okay, well, hold on. We're pausing. Dawson is reacting to seeing someone. Oh, it's Teresa. Hello. Teresa is from our college. So, anyway. Yeah, so we are... Yeah, I don't sleep with a panda, so... What am I like as a boyfriend? This is what I'm going to do to George's wife when she comes. Well, to George, specifically. What am I like?
He's a great boyfriend. He's very attentive. He always makes time for me, things like that. I would say that your strengths are how much you prioritize a relationship. I think that's some strengths. I think there are a lot of weaknesses.
Oof.
But nothing bigger than the strengths. So.
It's a weakness? No, I'm kidding. Don't.
Sometimes your weaknesses or your strengths are too strong. Like, how much
That's
time?
right. Sue me. I'm too good of a boyfriend. Well, anyway, I roped you into coming on here. Have you ever been to Druid City Arts Festival before?
No, I haven't. This is my first time.
Which is crazy because you're from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I've lived here since I was 7, and this is my first time.
It's almost like Visit Tuscaloosa could use like a podcast or something.
Something like that.
That, like People of Alabama style.
Right.
We should do something about that.
If only some people could like talk about it and like raise awareness of things like this.
I know, it's kind of crazy with like a video maybe, or maybe a long explanation video that's about 35 to 40 minutes long.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Someone should do that, probably.
All right, last thing. We make everybody answer this question.
Okay.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh, my goodness.
But you can say a favorite movie that's like in their top 10. Because, it's too hard for even me to pick. You ask me this all the time. Though I did say Dune earlier, so I've locked it in.
I agree. It's too hard to pick because it changes every week. But my answer forever and always to this question is...
Wait. Let's say it together. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Moulin Rouge.
Yes. All right, I got it. All right, that's it. We made it. All right. So yeah, tell them about it and why you like it and that kind of stuff.
Oh, Moulin Rouge is it's a masterpiece. The music is brilliant. The cinematography is brilliant. The story makes me cry every time, no matter how many times I watch it. It's just beautiful. I can watch it 12 times a day for the rest of my life and never get tired of it.
Yeah. I mean, we met basically because I knew Moulin Rouge. That's not exactly why, but...
Not exactly.
But we were like, because no one knows this movie.
Yes, that was the first time I had ever met somebody who turned to me and said, "Have you seen Moulin Rouge?" Because normally that's my line.
And basically in that moment, she knew that we were going to be dating.
Yeah, the hearts in my eyes.
Yeah.
They just went,
And then she was like, but wait, he still sleeps with a panda? Not that I do. But if, yeah.
I learned that later.
Yeah, you were locked in at that point. So, anyway, thank you for coming on. I'll let you go enjoy the festivities now.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, last thing is there was supposed to be what was it called? The Guild of Quilters. And I don't see them. They had a huge place on the map, and I was like really expecting like we are the Guild of Quilters. And like, they're not
munchkins.
Well, I kind of feel like they are. So anyway, go enjoy it. Thanks for coming on. To the next person. All right. Well, George is back.
I'm back.
He's gone for 3.5 hours, but we did it.
Was I gone for that long?
You left at 1. It's 4:30.
I didn't. We didn't expect to be that
It's
gone.
fine.
That long.
You're good.
Okay.
We did it.
Hey, we got to do something regarding the podcast that we haven't done yet.
Has something to do
made
with
a
the fact-
documentary and we won an Emmy.
Also, all of these people came on the podcast and none of them were Christy.
Oh.
Again. That's right,
Okay.
Christy. I talked about her the last segment because Jaden came on and I was like,
Oh,
well,
cool.
I got to be fair and let her grill me because if Christy comes on, we're going to want her to grill you.
Got it.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, man, how do you feel about all this?
I think it went fantastic for our first attempt at getting random people to come talk to us.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about it.
I mean, I wouldn't even call it an attempt. I would call it a success.
A success. I feel like these pop filters did a much better job.
Yeah, we don't need the
we
fuzzy
didn't need the
ones.
big fuzzy ones. Yeah,
Which is good because it probably would have been a lot more. But yeah, this has been pretty awesome. They did confirm this is the first one since 2019. So
wow.
This is a big event. We met some cool people and it went well. So yeah, I mean, thanks for checking out this really
super
totally
random,
different,
totally
Sweet
different
creative podcast.
Yeah.
If this is the most popular one, I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but
yeah, because we've got to keep all this crap in the studio.
yeah, because this is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I think it'll pay off. I think it was a lot of fun.
But anyway, thanks for checking us out. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll see you later.
Peace
We'll
out.
look at the Emmy as we
We'll
go.
let Miss Emmy say goodbye. Goodbye. All right, see ya.
Bye.
This podcast was produced by Nick Golden with executive producer George Edmondson, edited by Nick Golden and Gavin Manning. Be sure to subscribe, drop a like and a comment. Tune in every Monday for brand new podcast content, and we'll see you on the next one.